The Watchers 3, Episode 1, The Unseen Legacy. In the quiet pre-dawn hours of a summer morning, the serene calm was gently disrupted by the persistent buzz of 3 phones. The calls, originating from a number known to only a select few, each phone belonging to a rocker sister. As the sun began its ascent, casting a soft glow over the town, the threads of fate began to weave a new chapter for Nikki, Ashley, and Brittany Rocker. The message was from their mother, a distinguished microbiologist spending the summer at Harvard, engrossed in teaching and research. Her voice, usually steady and composed, carried an unmistakable edge of concern. "Girls, it's been over a week since I've heard from your father. He's not responding to any of my messages and I'm worried. Please go to the house and check up on him first thing." This plea set the stage for an unexpected reunion of the Rocker sisters at their childhood home, a place brimming with memories, laughter, and secrets. Their father, a man of intellect and mystery, had always been the cornerstone of their family, his occasional absences attributed to his deep dives into work that no one quite understood. But this silence was different. It hung in the air like a shadow, foreboding and filled with unspoken fears. As the sisters received their mother's message, their reactions were a mix of concern and determination. Nikki, the youngest and most spirited of the trio, felt a rush of adrenaline at the prospect of unraveling the mystery. Ashley, ever pragmatic and analytical, began to consider the possible reasons behind their father's silence. Brittany, the eldest and protector, felt the weight of responsibility settle on her shoulders, knowing that the task of ensuring their father's safety fell heavily upon them. In the quiet embrace of dawn, Elmwood, a town cradled by the gentle whispers of nature and the steady rhythm of everyday life, within the heart of this seemingly tranquil setting, a series of events were about to unfold, marking the beginning of an extraordinary journey for 3 sisters. Bound by blood, but separated by the divergent paths their lives had taken, they were unknowingly stepping towards a convergence that would unearth secrets long buried and destinies yet unwritten. The Rocker home, once a beacon of warmth and laughter, stood silent, awaiting the return of its daughters. Each sister, carrying the weight of her own world, was drawn back by the threads of nostalgia and the unspoken promise of reunion. Little did they know, the journey to their father's doorstep would be a prelude to a revelation that would challenge the very essence of their understanding of family, history, and themselves. As the first rays of sunlight pierced through the veil of night, casting a golden glow over Elmwood, the day declared itself not just a marker of time, but as the beginning of a saga that would intertwine the past, present, and future. This is the story of Nikki, Ashley, and Brittany, of the roads they traveled, the truths they uncovered, and the legacy they were about to step into. A journey not just of physical distance, but of heart, soul, and the unbreakable bonds that define what it means to be family. Nikki's day began with the sun casting its first light over the city. Known for her spontaneity and love for adventure, Nikki decided against the mundane predictability of public transport or a taxi. Instead, she chose the freedom and unpredictability of hitchhiking to her father's home. Her journey wasn't just about traversing physical distances. It was an embodiment of her approach to life, open, fearless, and ready to embrace the unknown. The ride she catches with a woman named Marla turns into an impromptu adventure in itself. Marla, a documentary filmmaker with a passion for environmental activism, shares stories of her travels, the people she's met, and the causes she's fought for. Nikki, absorbing every word, sees in Marla a reflection of the woman she aspires to become. Their conversation, spanning from the degradation of Earth's natural resources to personal anecdotes of love, loss, and discovery, offers Nikki profound insights into her own desires and dreams. As Elmwood's familiar landmarks start to appear, Nikki feels a surge of gratitude for this unexpected journey, realizing that every encounter has its purpose, shaping her path forward. Ashley's morning was a meticulous plan thrown into disarray by the whims of city life. As a digital marketing strategist, Ashley thrives on precision, analytics, and timelines. The delayed buses, however, remind her that not all aspects of life can be controlled or predicted. Standing at the bus stop, her frustration gradually gives way to introspection. Ashley reflects on the contrast between her current life in the bustling city and the quieter, more predictable days of her youth in Elmwood. She ponders over her career choice, its demands and the sacrifices it entails, including the precious moments missed with family. The waiting becomes a forced but necessary pause, allowing Ashley to reconnect with her inner self, contemplating the importance of balance, the warmth of family connections, and the simplicity of home that she often misses in her fast-paced life. As she finally boards the bus, Ashley is not just moving towards her father's house, but also towards a reconciliation of her present with her past, eager to rediscover parts of herself that she had left behind. Brittany's day took an unexpected turn with her car breaking down on a scarcely traveled road outside Elmwood. As a nurse, Brittany is no stranger to emergencies or unexpected situations, treating this inconvenience with the same calm and resilience she displays at work. While waiting for the tow truck, Brittany reflects on her life's journey, her decision to become a nurse, the lives she's impacted, and the emotional toll of her profession. Her thoughts also drift to her sisters, Nikki and Ashley, and the different paths they've all taken. Brittany's heart raced as she watched the tow truck roll up, its arrival a beacon of hope in her growing frustration. She glanced at her watch, acutely aware of each second slipping by, her mother's urgent request echoing in her mind. Brittany needed to get to her father's house, and every moment of delay felt like an eternity. As the tow truck driver, a young man with a cautious smile, stepped out, Brittany assessed the situation with the efficiency of someone used to making quick decisions. Time was a luxury she couldn't afford, and the usual protocol of towing, paperwork, and repair shop delays was out of the question. "Listen, I'm in a real hurry," Brittany began, her tone firm yet laced with an undercurrent of desperation. "My family needs me. Is there any way you can fix it here on the spot?" Her eyes, usually a calm sea of resolve, now pleaded for understanding and swift action. The tow truck driver scratched his head, surveying Brittany's car with a professional eye. "It's not standard procedure." Brittany, sensing his reluctance, leaned in, her resolve hardening. "Please," she implored, her voice softening, a smile playing at the corners of her mouth, a smile that had disarmed many and smoothed over countless difficult situations. It was a smile that promised gratitude, a non-verbal bribe that carried the weight of her urgency and hope. The driver met her gaze, the unspoken transaction hanging between them. After a moment that stretched too long for Brittany's liking, he sighed, a smile breaking through his professional demeanor. "All right, let's see what I can do." Relief washed over Brittany as the driver retrieved his tools and set to work. She paced nearby, a bundle of nervous energy, her mind racing ahead to her father's house, to the sisters' reunion, and the mysteries that awaited them. She knew that bending the rules like this was a gamble, but the stakes were too high for hesitation. In what felt like both a moment and a lifetime, the driver managed to perform a temporary fix, a miracle wrought by skill and Brittany's persuasive smile. "You should get it looked at properly as soon as you can," he advised as he packed away his tools. Brittany, ever the pragmatist, nodded in agreement, though both knew that the real repair would have to wait. Right now, there were more pressing concerns. "Thank you," she said, her gratitude genuine, as she handed him a tip, a tangible token of her appreciation beyond the smile that had sealed their deal. As she got back behind the wheel and the tow truck disappeared in her rearview mirror, Brittany allowed herself a brief moment of relief before the urgency of her mission reclaimed her. The road ahead promised answers and potentially more questions, but Brittany was ready. With the resolve that had always defined her, she drove on, the rocker home drawing closer with every mile, its secrets awaiting her arrival. As Brittany's car finally rolled to a stop in front of the rocker home, the final piece of the day's anticipation clicked into place. The house, bathed in the soft glow of the evening sun, seemed to whisper secrets through its silent facade. Nikki and Ashley, already waiting, greeted her with a mix of relief and excitement. Their reunion, though marked by the absence of their father, was filled with warmth, a testament to the enduring bond between them. "What took you so long, sis? You would think, being the only one with a car, you would have been here first," Nikki ribbing her as she gets out of the car. Ashley chuckles. "What, you laughing at numbers?" Nikki mentioned. "I beat you here too, and I hitchhiked." "Yeah, real safe, Nikki," Ashley explained, "and call me numbers again." "Little one," Ashley laughing. Brittany states the facts. "I'm not in the mood. My car broke down and now is being held together by duct tape and bubble gum. And I plan on grabbing that bubble gum before we go check on Dad." Brittany jokes, Ashley asking, "Brittany, tell me you have the spare key." "Give me a break, will ya? I'm not Nikki," Brittany joking as she leads the way. Brittany asks, "Is that a blunt you're smoking?" Nikki replies, "Yeah, we knocked on the door and nothing." Ashley says, "We are a little scared of what we might find." Brittany's response, "And on that note, let me hit that." Together, they stepped through the front door, a threshold that had always symbolized more than just the entrance to a house. It was a portal to their past, each room a chapter of their childhood story. The living room, with its well-worn sofas and the faint traces of laughter etched into the walls, reminded them of countless evenings spent in familial bliss. Nikki flopped onto a sofa, her eyes closing as she breathed in the nostalgia, a smile playing on her lips. In the dining room, Ashley ran her fingers over the oak table, polished to a shine yet marred with the scars of homework battles, craft projects, and spirited family dinners. "Remember when Dad tried to cook Thanksgiving dinner and almost set the kitchen on fire?" She chuckled, the memory sparking laughter among them. Brittany yelled, "Dad, you home?" followed by Nikki shouting, "It's your Pop Rocks." But it was greeted by silence. Brittany took charge, her leadership instinctively coming to the fore. "We should check Dad's bedroom first," she suggested, her voice steady despite the turmoil inside her. The others nodded, and together they moved through the familiar yet eerily silent house, each step heavy with the weight of unspoken fears and questions. The hallway to their father's bedroom seemed longer than Brittany remembered, each footfall echoing against the walls lined with family photos, a timeline of smiles and milestones that now felt distant. The door to his room stood ajar, an invitation and a warning all at once. Brittany paused at the threshold, taking a deep breath to steel herself for what they might find. With a nod from Nikki and Ashley, she pushed the door open, revealing the sanctum of their father's private world. The familiar sights, a neatly made bed, a desk cluttered with papers and books, personal artifacts scattered around, offering no immediate signs of distress or struggle. It was as if their father had simply stepped out, except for the palpable absence that filled the space, a silence too profound for mere physical absence. Brittany led the way in, her sisters following closely. Together, they began a methodical search, checking the ensuite bathroom, the closet, and under the bed, anywhere their father might have left a clue to his whereabouts. Yet all they found was the echo of their own concern, the room offering no answers, only deepening the mystery of his disappearance. Brittany led the way to their father's study, a room once off limits and shrouded in mystery. Ashley, with a bit of authority in her voice, says, "Now you know we are not allowed in there." Brittany proclaims, "We are not kids anymore," as Nikki, with little hesitation, shoves her way past both them, entering the room, mumbling, "Mom sent us. We're good." As chuckles danced in the air, the sisters followed. As they entered, they saw the heavy bookshelves, the desk cluttered with papers and artifacts from their father's travels, all spoke of a world beyond their reach. It was here, amidst the quiet dignity of the study, that Ashley, leaning against a bookshelf while lost in thought, felt a shift beneath her hand. A soft click echoed through the room, and with a mix of surprise and curiosity, they watched as the bookshelf swung open, revealing a passage they had never known. Nikki, shocked, expelled, "Tell me that's a secret passage." The discovery sent a thrill through them. With hesitant steps, they ventured into the hidden corridor, the air thick with dust and the weight of undiscovered secrets. The passage led them to a door, and as they stepped through, their eyes lit up with amazement for what they saw before them. The room was a treasure trove of futuristic gadgets and mysterious artifacts, a stark juxtaposition to the world they knew. It was Nikki who broke the silence, her voice a mix of awe and confusion. "What is all this?" "Holy bat balls, look at the size of this place," Ashley whispered, each sister grappling with the realization that their father, the man they thought they knew, harbored secrets beyond their wildest imaginations. The revelation of the secret room within the Rocker home marked the beginning of an unexpected chapter in Nikki, Ashley, and Brittany's lives. As they stepped into the clandestine space, their eyes were immediately drawn to the myriad of strange tools, gadgets, and beakers that filled the room. It was a scene straight out of a science fiction novel. At the center of this enigma was a large glass enclosure, housing a cannabis plant that towered over them, its size defying every known limit. Its leaves, a vibrant green under the specialized lighting, seemed almost alien in their perfection. Nikki's excitement pierced the room's heavy air of mystery. "Score!" she exclaimed, her voice a mixture of disbelief and delight as she discovered a jar filled to the brim with cannabis. "I'm rolling one up for us." Her enthusiasm was contagious, yet it carried a note of surrealism, highlighting the absurdity and wonder of their find. Ashley, meanwhile, was captivated by the plant behind the glass wall. Yells out, "You do that, Nikki!" Her analytical mind raced with questions about the technology and science that could enable such growth. The awe in her voice was unmistakable as she murmured, "This is incredible." She pressed her hand against the glass, the cool surface a tangible barrier between her and the botanical marvel before her. Brittany, the eldest, watched her sisters with a mixture of concern and fascination. The discovery of this room and its contents suggested layers to their father's life that they had never glimpsed. The room, with its advanced equipment and the outlandish size of the cannabis plant, hinted at a depth of secrets that suddenly made the familiar walls of the Rocker home feel foreign. As Nikki busied herself with rolling a joint and Ashley remained fixated on the plant, Brittany explored the room further. Her eyes took in every detail, the unrecognizable symbols on some of the gadgets, the complex configurations of the beakers, and the papers strewn across a nearby desk, their contents obscured by a language they could not understand. Brittany explored further, her eyes scanning the space for clues about their father's secret endeavors. It was then that she stumbled upon a sleek, unusual watch lying innocuously on a workbench. Drawn by an inexplicable impulse, Brittany reached out and strapped the watch onto her wrist. The moment the watch clasped around her skin, it sprang to life with a soft glow, its face illuminating with symbols and numbers that made little sense. Simultaneously, the house responded as if acknowledging the watch's activation. The lights flickered ominously, casting shadows that danced across the walls, and a distinct beep sound echoed through the room, breaking the silence with its electronic chirp. The sudden changes startled the sisters, drawing Nikki and Ashley's attention away from their initial fascinations. They watched, wide-eyed, as Brittany examined the watch, now an apparent link to the deeper mysteries of their father's world. The flickering lights and the beep noise seemed to signify the awakening of something far beyond their understanding, a gateway to secrets that had been kept from them until this moment. As the initial shock faded, a sense of resolve settled over the Rocker sisters. The discovery of the secret room and its contents, especially the watch now glowing on Brittany's wrist, was not just a revelation of their father's hidden life, but a call to delve deeper into the mysteries of their family legacy. The joint Nikki held, momentarily forgotten, became a symbol not just of their shared experience, but of the journey ahead. A journey that promised to challenge everything they knew about their family and themselves. Nikki yells out, "I don't know about you, but after all that, I'm ready to blaze." The Rocker home, once a simple backdrop to their childhood, had transformed into the stage for an unfolding mystery with the secret room and the glowing watch at the heart of their quest for answers. As the sisters stood together, united by blood and curiosity, they realized that this night was only the beginning. As the Rocker sisters retreated to the safety and familiarity of the back porch, the night air wrapped around them like a comforting shroud, a stark contrast to the electrifying revelations of the secret room. The glowing watch on Brittany's wrist served as a beacon, a physical manifestation of the mysteries that lay just beyond their comprehension. Nikki, with her spontaneous spirit, lit the joint she had rolled earlier, the flame briefly illuminating their faces in the dim light. Sitting together in a semicircle, the joint passed from hand to hand, a ritual that felt both new and ancient in the context of their evening's discoveries. The smoke curled into the night, carrying with it the weight of their silence, as each sister delved into her own thoughts, linking the past with the present. Nikki broke the silence first, her voice lighter, yet tinged with the gravity of their situation. "Remember how we used to sneak out here, thinking we were so rebellious?" she mused, a small smile playing on her lips. "Feels like we've just stumbled into the biggest rebellion of our lives." Ashley, her analytical mind always turning, nodded. "It's like we've been living on the surface of our own lives. Dad's secrets, this watch." She gestured towards Brittany's wrist. "They hint at depths that we've never imagined. What was he trying to protect us from, or was he hiding something more sinister?" Brittany, feeling the weight of the watch as if it were the key to unlocking their father's enigma, sighed deeply. "I've always thought I knew Dad. We all did. But this," she lifted her wrist slightly, the watch catching the faint light, "this changes everything. It's not just about finding out what he's been hiding. It's about understanding why." The conversation turned to their childhood, the games they played, the secrets they shared, and the unspoken bond that had always tied them together. Yet, as they reminisced, their laughter and memories bittersweet, they couldn't help but see their past through the lens of their current discovery. The home that had nurtured their happiest memories now housed the biggest mystery of their lives. "It's like every memory could be a clue," Ashley pondered aloud, her gaze distant. The times Dad was locked away in his study, the trips he took alone. What if they were all connected to this? Nikki took a deep drag, exhaling slowly. "Then we find out. Together. We've always said we'd face anything as long as we have each other. Well, here's our chance." Brittany, the protector, looked at her sisters, her resolve hardening. "We'll uncover the truth for our family, for Dad, but we do it carefully, without jumping to conclusions. There's a lot we don't understand yet." As the night deepened and the joint dwindled, the Rocker sisters found themselves at the cusp of an unforeseen journey. The secrets of the secret room, the implications of the watch, and the shadows of their father's hidden life loomed large. Yet, in this moment of uncertainty, their resolve to seek the truth, to protect one another, and to face whatever lay ahead was unwavering. The back porch, once a stage for teenage rebellions and whispered secrets, had now become the setting for a far greater challenge. As they stood to re-enter the house, the Rocker sisters, fortified by their resolve and the shared moment on the back porch, decided it was time to delve deeper into the enigmatic world their father had concealed within the walls of their childhood home. The mysterious watch, with its soft glow and inexplicable activation, was their starting point, an artifact that seemed to hold the key to unraveling the secrets that lay hidden. With the house bathed in the soft moonlight, the sisters gathered around the kitchen table, the watch placed at its center. It was a scene reminiscent of their strategy sessions for childhood games, yet the stakes were now immeasurably higher. Brittany, who had taken the initiative to wear the watch, recounted the moment it came to life. "When I put this on, it wasn't just the lights that flickered. It felt like the house itself reacted," she explained, her voice laced with a mixture of awe and unease. Nikki, ever the enthusiast for the unknown, leaned in closer. "And it beeped, right? Like it was trying to communicate or activate something." Her eyes sparkled with curiosity, the potential for discovery outweighing the shadows of fear. Ashley, with a notepad in front of her, began to list their observations and the questions they needed answers to. "We need to figure out what this watch is, what it does, and how it's connected to the rest of Dad's lab," she said, the word lab feeling foreign yet fitting for the secret room. Armed with a sense of purpose, the sisters returned to the secret room, the door now familiar yet foreboding. The array of gadgets and technology that had overwhelmed them just hours before now represented pieces of a puzzle they were determined to solve. They approached the investigation methodically, dividing the tasks among themselves. Nikki, drawn to the gadgets and tools, began to experiment with each device, noting which ones responded to touch or emitted any sounds. Ashley, with her analytical mind, took to the paperwork scattered across the desk, deciphering notes and diagrams that hinted at the purpose behind the cannabis plant's accelerated growth and the possible applications of the other technologies in the room. It was Ashley who stumbled upon the first real breakthrough. Buried among the papers was a journal, its entries in their father's handwriting. The pages revealed not just the scientific ambitions behind his experiments, but hinted at a greater purpose, a mission that was tied to the protection and advancement of humanity itself. The entries were cryptic, speaking of a greater calling and the need for secrecy. There were references to a group known only as the Watchers, which seemed to be connected to their father's work and possibly to the origins of the watch itself. As the pieces began to fall into place, the Rocker sisters realized that their father's secrets were far more profound and far-reaching than they had ever imagined. The watch wasn't just a piece of advanced technology. It was a relic of a much larger, hidden world, one that they were now a part of. With each discovery, the sisters' determination grew. They knew that understanding their father's work was just the beginning. The true challenge would be uncovering the full extent of the Watchers' existence and their father's role within it. The journey ahead promised to challenge their perceptions of reality, their family's legacy, and the very fabric of their reality. With a blend of determination and trepidation, Nikki, Brittany, and Ashley delved deeper into the technological enigma their father left behind. As they navigate through the secret room, Nikki, with a hint of mischief and practicality, pockets some cannabis from the jar, quipping, "We might need this later." Her lightheartedness serves as a brief respite from the weight of their discovery. Brittany, with the watch snug on her wrist, navigated through its interface with a combination of intuition and trial and error. Each press and swipe seemed to awaken the room, revealing the depth of their father's ingenuity. One of the first devices to respond was a compact metallic sphere resting unassumingly on a workbench. With a gentle hum, it levitated, emitting a series of holographic projections that displayed complex astronomical data and star maps. The sisters watched in awe as galaxies and star systems danced before their eyes in stunning clarity and detail. Next, Ashley, drawn to a sleek console adorned with an array of buttons and touchscreens, discovered its control over the environment within the glass enclosure housing the oversized cannabis plant. With a few cautious adjustments, she managed to alter the lighting and temperature settings, observing the plant's response to these changes. It was a clear demonstration of their father's mastery over genetic engineering and environmental manipulation. Nikki, ever curious, fiddled with a series of tubes and beakers connected to a peculiar device that resembled a modern art sculpture more than a piece of scientific equipment. Upon activation, the device began to distill a substance from the cannabis plant, separating its components with precision and efficiency. The resulting liquid glowed faintly, suggesting properties beyond conventional understanding. As they explored further, a set of small drones previously dormant on a shelf popped to life. They buzzed around the room, scanning the sisters and the environment with soft, pulsing lights. It was unclear what data they collected or for what purpose, but their presence added another layer to the mystery enveloping their father's secret endeavors. However, their triumph is short-lived. It was amidst this burgeoning understanding and growing excitement that the watch on Brittany's wrist emitted a sharp, piercing alarm. The transition from discovery to alarm was abrupt. the previously activated gadgets falling silent as if in anticipation of what was to come. Its screen flashing with what appears to be a countdown. The unexpected noise jolts them into silence. The countdown that appeared on the watch's display was not just a warning. It felt like a trigger for a sequence of events far beyond the sisters' control. A stark reminder of the unknown they're tampering with. A loud screeching noise pierced the air. That came from outside, noted Brittany. The sound of jets tearing through the sky above their home draws the sisters to the back porch in a mix of curiosity and concern as two low-flying aircraft reminiscent of military Raptors buzz their home with an authority and speed that defy the usual tranquility of their airspace. Ashley can't help but exclaim, "What the fudge corner?" Her choice of words, an attempt to temper her shock, only adds to the surreal nature of the moment. Nikki, despite the tension, finds humor in Ashley's exclamation. "Fudge corner, really, Ashley?" She laughs, a brief moment of levity amidst the chaos. But it's Brittany who captures the gravity of their situation, her voice cutting through the humor and confusion. "You two might want to look at the backyard. There's a door to nothing, and something standing in it." Turning their gaze to the yard, the sisters behold a sight that challenges the very fabric of their reality. A door, standing inexplicably in the middle of their lawn, leads nowhere. A portal framed by thin air, and before it stands a figure, not human, but unmistakably an android, its form sleek and imbued with an otherworldly presence. The android, with a voice that resonates with both urgency and an inexplicable familiarity, beckons them. "Join us on the ship," it urges, just as a spacecraft, previously hidden by cloaking technology, reveals itself with a silent grace. The ship, an architectural marvel of technology and design, hovers above their home, its intentions and origins a mystery. "Hurry up, my little pop rocks," the android shouts, a nickname only their father has ever used. Nikki, in shock, exclaimed, "How would it know that?" "Yeah," Ashley replied. "Only Dad calls us that," Brittany explained. The sisters stand on the precipice of the unimaginable, the reality of their father's secrets unfolding before them in a way they could never have anticipated. The watch, the secret room, and now this invitation from an extraterrestrial presence all converge into a moment that transcends their wildest dreams and deepest fears. Brittany, Ashley, and Nikki, united by blood and bound by a legacy of secrets, face a choice that will define their destinies. The invitation from the android, the ship awaiting their response, and the unknown adventures that lie beyond are a call to step into a legacy far greater than any they had imagined. As they glance at each other, the weight of their decision hangs in the air. To step through that door is to leave behind the world they know, to embrace a destiny intertwined with the cosmos itself. Their father's legacy, it seems, is not just of this earth, but part of a grander, interstellar narrative. The Rocker sisters, with the courage of their convictions and the strength of their bond, are about to embark on a journey beyond the confines of their understanding into the heart of the unknown. B and Rocker.